Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome all to AFS Solutions Online Laptop Chip Level Training Institute. Muhammad Rafi here from AFS Solutions Bangalore. To all the brothers who are watching this video, may God bless you all with health, wealth, prosperity, success in life, and may your name shine like a sunrise in the globe. Today, uh, I am recording a beautiful video, and I think it is one of the mandatory video which you have to follow, in your laptop chipper profession. And let me give some of the description what I'm going to do. And today, this video is divided into two parts. One is about the BIOS IC and another of the uh, manufacturing programming mode. And in this pandemic, I hope everybody are safe in your country and your place also. And whoever is not feeling well, don't worry, nothing will happen, inshallah. This pandemic is not for the poor or whoever is doing a hard work and earning their hard-earned bread and butter. Many students asked me to where to buy some gadgets exclusively for Indian engineers, where to buy the gadgets, spares, IC. Now I'll be posting the contact number of Meet, who is from Shubham Computers, Mumbai. I am posting his contact number and some of the tools I'll be showing you the image. These are the some of the tools. These are all exclusive for reballing of SoC motherboards. These are stencil and some other these are I think for hard disk data recovery. There are variety of tools which are available with Meet. See, this is also one of the beautiful BGA top nozzle which you have to buy for the reflow of SoC. Don't ever try to use your hot air gun to reflow the SoC, or because in a Skylake and Kaby Lake, even if there is a small spark also, the CPU will go to a sleep mode and dead condition, and it will not activate at any scenario. So better you buy a professional stencil. And next, he has very good precision tools also. He's selling Enit IO programmer, Enit SAM connector, Asus connector. You can see many people are facing issue with the Asus hard disk not detecting issue. So you can buy this male and female Asus connectors also. Many things are there. His flux is very good. I am using since past 2 years. His quality of the flux, and if I take the life of the flux is also very good, and there is less smoke also, and at a reasonable price. Dispenser, programmers, K-type bit, universal types of bits, soldering bits, many things are there. Anyway, I'm giving a review here of some of the connectors, reballs, example XYZ. Here you can see you have an Apple connectors also. You can buy a DSO, and Gratin DSO I am using past 1.5 year, from which I have purchased from Meet Shubham, maybe 1.5 2 years, and this is also very good compared to Unity DSO. Some related components related to mobile also are available with Shubham Meet. This is 1.8 volts voltage divider, inverter boards, debug card for the desktop. This is a mini card connector debug card. You can use it in laptops. I'm just forwarding it for a glance. I'm doing a little bit speed. You can see apron also is available, anti-static apron. Even BJ machine is also available. I think it is against the order. Maybe it is ZMR 5860. Anyway, to tell in a single word, it is a one-stop solution for if you want to buy ICs, tools, machineries related to your lab setup of laptop, desktop, TV, mobile. You can good, and his price also reasonable, and service is very good, packing also very good. Anyway, now let us come to the laptop profession part. In few of the chattings and discussion, I have seen that many people are facing an issue with this BIOS chip. You can see that this it cannot be programmed and it will not detect in RT809F also. In one of the chatting, one guy suggested to buy SVOD. And do you really think just to program this one BIOS chip, do you need to invest for an SVOD programmer, which already I have said many times it is Patanjali. Many people ask me what is Patanjali. I don't know. See, you can take a perception. If you think Patanjali is good, means this is whatever you think or I suggest, it is good. If you think Patanjali is bad, if your perception, that means your SVOD is also Patanjali. Not good. Anyway, we'll not go a discussion about Patanjali. Anyway, so even I got a same case. When I try to detect the BIOS chip in RT809F, the display was not coming. So I tried day one, day two. So I had a challenge, not to return the laptop, but to understand how to give a solution about this laptop. And I was thinking, is it a way? Is there is a way? This is an 8 MB BIOS chip. Usually we can find this BIOS chip in an HP motherboards. Okay, exclusively we have in G07DP. Okay, so I was worried how to find a solution. Now we will see a practical case how to solve this case study. Okay, now let us go to the laptop section. So now you can see that I am taking an example of G07DP, and you can see there is an IC of XMC, and whether can I replace another BIOS chip or not. So what are the basic steps to replace? So this is my HP laptop, and I think I'll set a timer also for this. So I have set a timer also for this. Now I am going to power on the laptop. The laptop is power on. I have started the timer. Let us see after how many minutes this is going to give a display, whether the board is really going to give a display or not. Okay, 12, 13 seconds, 14 seconds. The laptop is on. I think I can show you the fan is running here. That means the laptop is on. For this laptop there will not be a CMOS battery, and the main battery will be considered for the RTC section. So now we are powering on the laptop without the main battery, but here the case is about the display. So already 1 minute over. Let us wait. You can see after 1 minute stop, 1 minute 20 seconds, I got a display, and in this display you can see there is a message which says, see, it has got a shutdown. CMOS checksum error. I got a message saying CMOS checksum error, and it got an automatic shutdown. So after 1 minute 32 seconds I got this message. Again, if I try to power on, the continuous shoot. Now the laptop will not, I don't know when it will power on, so I will give again repeat one more timer. So I don't know how much time it will take. Now it may take more than 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 4 minutes, even half an hour. So a laptop which is getting power on after 1.5 minute, 2 minute or half an hour, and it is showing an CMOS checksum error and it is going to an automatic shutdown. So usually what we engineers do, we usually go directly to the BIOS. Maybe it is an BIOS issue. That's why the laptop is not getting power on. So let us understand exactly whether is this really a BIOS issue which we are facing. Okay. Still timer going on. I want you all to do a practice also of this case. And I'll give you all the description, some of the basic steps, what you have to follow and how easy it is to get a solution. If you see carefully here, I can see a caps lock blinking. You can see here, I can see a caps lock blinking. You can see a caps lock blinking means the BIOS is trying to get activated. But my laptop is on, but there is no display. Okay, let us find the solution. Now you can see the timer has changed from more than 1.5 minute and 2 minutes approximately. 2 minutes is crossed, but still we don't have any solution, we don't have a result. Let us wait and watch whether this laptop is going to power on, give the display of the CMOS error, and again is it going for an shutdown. And after I want you all to watch the video till the end, and after end of the video you can see that this laptop will power on in less than 30 seconds inshallah, or maybe less than 10 seconds. So that will be our goal. This laptop should give display in less than 10 seconds inshallah. 3 minutes over, but still we don't have a solution. There is no display. I think we have to go for a practical, or should we wait? Let us watch the timer again. Still the caps lock is blinking. We don't have a solution, we don't have a display. Means our case is going to give a issue for us. Okay, now let us go to the next part. Exactly what. Now I have disassembled the laptop, and let me try to program this BIOS chip, whether really I will be able to program this or not. I have removed the BIOS chip, and here is my programmer. Okay, I will be using RT809F as usual for the programming, and I have a backup also in which I have mentioned as AFS G07DP. You can see here I have mentioned here AFS G07DP means it is an working BIOS or backup of working BIOS. Okay, okay, done. Let us open the programmer. We'll give a smart ID. Program is not connected. Okay, not an issue. Just restart the programmer. Now you can see I'm getting a green light here, means programmer is ready. I'm clicking smart IT. You can see here the RT809F is detecting the BIOS hardware. So let me see whether it is trying to read it or not. So it is reading the BIOS chip also. You can see here I got a read error. If See, verification failure. You can see here verification failure. If the BIOS chip itself is not able to read even after, see, it is a 200 ml BIOS. Okay, even after detecting the BIOS hardware, if it is not able to read, then how will I be able to write the BIOS? So I think it is not possible to write the BIOS. Now let us go to the solution very quickly. Okay, so step number one. Okay, let us take some photo snaps of the laptop. So here I have taken some photo snaps. So in this I have taken this part 1, part 2. So here I'll get the model number of the laptop. You can see here. So this is an HP laptop DA0102TU. So this is a product number. So we will select only this much product number. Okay. Will not take ACJ. Hashtag ACJ will not consider. We'll take 4ST38PA. Now we'll go to the website. Here we will type HP drivers. In HP drivers, you go for the first website, whichever you get. Now go for the laptop section. In laptop section, we will type this number 4ST 38PA. Okay, and give submit. Here it is trying to tell me try to select manually the operating system. Okay, I'll click manual. I'll get an option from Windows. It doesn't matter whichever it is. I'll take for Windows 10 64-bit. It doesn't matter. Hopefully we must get the BIOS. Yes, we got the BIOS. We'll check the BIOS column. Here we'll click BIOS. We have a download option. Let us download. I'll get a pop-up. Yes, I got a pop-up to download. And I think the BIOS is getting downloaded. Okay, so we'll go for my downloads and I'll expect a download to come here. Okay, once this is complete, this will come here. The reason why I have kept this backup file, I'll tell you. Whenever you want to edit a new file, you need a backup file also. So that's the reason why I kept a backup file. So now in this case, exactly do I need or do I don't need? It doesn't matter. Okay, I think we got the download complete. We'll cut and we'll go to our folder and we'll make a new project. So in this new project, I am going to paste it. So how to get the bin file out of this? You can see the size of the bin file here. If I keep my mouse, it will be showing me 8 MB. Okay, or if I go to properties, it will showing me 8 MB BIOS chip. So out of this setup file, I need 8 MB. So first we will extract it. Yes, we got an extract. Before going to the next step, we are going to disable the antivirus. In my system, I'll be disabling the antivirus for 15 minutes. Next, I will extract this, extract to the same name what we are going to do. Okay. Now we have got so many files. Out of this part are our bin files, but these are our encrypted files. So we have to decrypt. See, what is our goal? uh, Never forget our goal. Our goal is my laptop should power on. This is my first goal. Next we'll do whatever we want. If the laptop gets power on, laptop should on in fast mode, means within few seconds the laptop has to power on. So here we can see we don't have any file which is 8 MB because these all are encrypted. Now we'll click this flash file, HP flash. So once I click the HP flash, I'll get a message like this. Okay, I'll click next. Here I have an option of copy. I'll click next. Here itself, where we got the file, I'll create a new folder for new bin. Okay, so I'll be copying this file here. See, I got a next message, means I'll copy this to my new bin. Okay, so it must be in the desktop, and in desktop we are doing a project of G07DP. New folder in SP, we got a new bin. Click OK and click next. So inside this new bin, automatically all the BIOS are extracted, means encrypted. See, we got a pop-up. We'll click finish. We'll close this, and you can see inside this new bin we got all our bin files. So we'll click it as type, and we don't want this unwanted files. So the first file which I have to program, here we have a different question. Okay, though this will be as per the CPU and generation. So first we will start with the first part. Okay, we will be using the first file. Now I'll cut and I will paste here. Okay, so whatever is available in new folder, I am going to delete it. Again, I will create a new folder, and whatever the file I have disconnected, cut and paste, I'll put it there, and this UEFI title I'm going to post it inside. So now I have two things. So the file which I got from the website and the UEFI tool. Now I will drag this inside the UEFI tool. I'll get an Intel, click description. When you click description, come to the bottom. So the good news is this BIOS chip is a compatible for Atmel, Winbond, Cepheon, Gigabyte, Micron. So the moral is we have a compatible option for this. Anyway, that means I can program it. Now I'll program this to my Winbond BIOS chip. Here I have taken a collection of Winbond BIOS chip. I am going to remove the old BIOS and I am going to program the new BIOS. I am doing a live case study, no tricks, nothing, and even you can try it out. So we have an auto detection. You can see I got a Winbond 64 MB. So I don't need to read because I'm using a new chip. I will directly go for open. In open, we had a folder in our LA-G07DP new folder, and new folder we have UEFI and our BIOS file, which was extracted from the HP website. You can see the size also 8192 means 8 MB. Let me program it. Programming complete. Let me fix this on the motherboard. Winbond chip. Don't forget the pin number 1. So this side corner is pin number 1. So this is my pin number 1. So this corner is my pin number 1. This corner is pin number 1. Okay. Now you can see I have fixed the new BIOS chip. Let me show you that I have fixed WinBond. Now you can see I have fixed the WinBond BIOS chip. Okay. And let us fix the motherboard and let us see whether our laptop will give the display or any activation will happen or not. Now let me connect the DC jack. You can see I have fixed the laptop completely. I am connecting the DC jack and I am pressing the power button. So let us watch the timer also. In how many minutes this laptop is going to power on. Whether we'll get the display or not. You can see I got the display in less than 14 seconds. It was less than 14 seconds. Now you can see the IO is getting programmed. See here 90% the IO flash complete. Again it will go for a restart. After restart, maybe the laptop will power on. Now let us see. I am setting a timer again. Let me power on the laptop and press the timer. Four seconds, 5 seconds. You can see less than 5 seconds. So maybe we need a 3 restart for this. Let us check whether the laptop will take a 3 restart because we need to set the time and date here. Yes. And here we are getting a message, manufacturing BIOS programming mode. I think we'll get the display. So manufacturing BIOS programming mode is in unlock mode, means we can rectify the issue. And now we'll go for the next process. How to solve this manufacturing program mode is in unlock mode. The laptop is booting. The Windows has boot complete. Let me put the password. And the laptop is ready. Let us see the next process. How to solve this manufacturing mode is in unlock mode. Before that, I will set the date and time and we'll go for the next process. Adjust date and time. And I think we are in the same time. Yes, we got the time. 10:17 Thursday, October, and everything is set because I have connected the Wi-Fi. You can see here the Wi-Fi is connected to EFS solution, so automatically that time and date is taken. Let us watch the next process. So as we have seen, we'll take some snapshot of the motherboard. So here are some stickers where we can see the FRU number and the motherboard part number. I have done a marking also. If I zoom it, you can see here I've got the laptop model number and we have got the product ID, serial number, and here we have got our another codes. If you're not able to see the codes clearly, we'll do a scanning. You have a app in Android and iPhone also where you can scan the barcode. When you scan the barcode, you will get the exact numbers of the build numbers. See, after scanning, I have got the build number and another FRU number also. Okay. And I need to take a snapshot of the MAC address of my Wi-Fi card. And I need to take the snapshot of the CT number also. So this much is enough and we are going to save this in our text. Okay. If you don't get the exact CT number, you can scan it and you'll get the CT number also. Next step is we have to go to Google in Google, we will type HP configuration utility. HP configuration utility. I think we have to type HP BIOS configuration utility. We'll go to the first message, and here we have the setup file. We'll download this. We'll copy in a pen drive. Once it is downloaded, I will copy the HP configuration utility exe file, and we'll make a text file also. So we will open a text file, and here are some of the codes I have mentioned. .exe /get config : and config.txt. Okay, and future byte I have copied the number and built-in number, SKU number, serial number, MAC address, and system board CT number. And next, the final step is HP set configuration : config.txt. So this I will copy and save, and will copy it into our pen drive. So let us see here. So I'll copy this into my pen drive. Okay, done. This is more than enough, and let us go to our laptop version. I'm connecting this pen drive to the laptop. Let me open my pen drive, and I will copy this to and paste it on desktop. Cut. Anyway, I'll set up the file here itself. Double click and install the setup file of HP configuration utility to our system. Click next. Click I accept. Follow the steps. Now it is complete. Open now C drive. Let me complete it. I think it is complete. Open C drive, and in C drive open program file x86. Click HP and click HP BIOS utility. You will get this type of configuration messages. Now click CMD, click run command, click CD space, copy this path and paste it here, and click enter, and you can see we'll get a message like this. Click right click. You can find here BIOS config utility 64. Right click, rename, copy, go here, right click and paste. After paste, you have to go to the text file. You can see we have already typed .exe /get config : config.txt. Copy this and paste it and click enter. And I think we have got our text. Again go here, drag this config file and leave it outside. Click continue. Okay, and close this. Now open this config file Once you open it, it is asking for a feature byte here. Let me show you step by step. Yes, first option is feature byte. Open the text. We have copied the feature byte. Copy this. Right click and paste. Next we go for the build ID. Go to the text. Copy the build ID. And paste the build ID. Next SKU number. We'll go to the text. We'll copy the SKU number and we'll paste here. Now I think it will be clear for you. So SKU number, we'll paste it here. Okay. Next serial number, we'll copy the serial number and we'll paste the serial number. By default it will be ABCDEF0123, means it is taking an hex coding. Next we'll go for the MAC address. We'll paste the MAC address. By default MAC address 0123456789 AB. Instead we'll save the original MAC address number. Next we'll go for the CT number and we'll paste the CT number. And the final step is, when you come to the manufacturing programming mode. So watch this. Just cut the star mark from here and paste it at lock. Save the file. And close it. So close everything. We'll open the folder where this was available, drag it and drop it. Click continue. Now we'll go for the DOS command, Windows CMD, run as administrator. Same process will follow. We'll click CD space, copy the path here and click enter. Now I think the display drivers were taken. Automatically the display drivers are taken. Now in config utility, right click this 64, BIOS config utility 64, copy and we will paste. So once you copy, now we'll go for the text file, and the text file is in our pen drive. The final command is will set now. Earlier it was get, now will set. Click set and paste it here and click enter. Yes, if this has happened, that means your configuration is ready. Close everything. Now just restart your laptop. After restart, let us see in how many seconds this laptop is going to boot. Giving a timer. Yes, less than 10 seconds. Our laptop is ready. it will take a restart for 1 or 2 times, and hope our issue is rectified also. You can see now the message also will not come. Direct it will go for an HP boot. The screen has come and HP logo has come. The manufacturing mode message is not coming now. And I believe that this type of case study will definitely come to every laptop chip level service center and table also, and every expert across the globe should know this type of how to rectify this type of issue when you are getting a BIOS chip of XMC. And here our window booting is ready, and I am putting the password, and our laptop is also ready to use without any issue. And the case is rectified. Hope this case study will be helpful for you all. Thank you for watching AFS Solutions practical case study. May God bless you all.